Chapter 30. Experience of Reality. On the solemn threshold of the temple at Delphi was found a sacred inscription carved out on a living stone which read as follows: Gnosis te ipsum. Know thyself, and you will know the universe and its gods. The transcendental science of meditation has as its fundamental cornerstone this sacred saying of the ancient Greek hierophants. If we truly and sincerely want to establish the basis for correct meditation, it is necessary to understand ourselves in all the levels of the mind. To establish the correct basis for meditation means to be free of ambition, egotism, fear, hate, greed for psychic powers, yearning for results, etc. It is clear by any reckoning and beyond all doubt that after establishing the fundamental cornerstone of meditation, the mind stays still and in profound and imposing silence. From the strictly logical point of view, it is absurd to want to experience reality without knowing ourselves. It is urgent to understand fully in all areas of the mind each desire, each memory, each psychological defect, etc. It is clear by any reckoning that during the practice of meditation, one can see on the screen of the mind the sinister procession of all the psychological defects which characterize us, all our happy and sad moments, countless memories, multiple impulses that come from the outside world and from the interior world, desires of all types, passions of all kinds, old resentments, hatred, etc. He who truly wants to establish in his mind the fundamental cornerstone of meditation should pay full attention to the positive and negative values of our understanding and understand them in an integral way, not merely on the intellectual level, but also in all subconscious, infraconscious, and unconscious regions of the mind. We should never forget that the mind has many levels. An in-depth study of all these values means, as a matter of fact, knowledge of oneself. Any movie on the mind's screen has a beginning and an end. When the parade of forms, desires, passions, ambitions, memories, etc. ends, then the mind becomes still and in profound silence, empty of all kinds of thoughts. Modern-day students of psychology need to experience the illuminating void. The eruption of the void within our own minds allows us to experience, feel, and live an element that transforms. That element is reality. Let us distinguish between a mind that is still and a mind that has been stilled violently. Let us distinguish between a mind that is in silence and one that has been forcibly silenced. In the light of any logical deduction, we must understand that when the mind is violently calmed, deep down and in other levels, it is not still and it struggles to be free. From the analytical point of view, we have to understand that when the mind is forcibly silenced, deep down it is not silenced, it screams and becomes terribly desperate. The true stillness and natural and spontaneous silence of the mind comes to us as a grace, as good fortune, when the intimate movie of our existence on the wonderful screen of the intellect ends. Only when the mind is naturally and spontaneously still, only when the mind is in delicious silence does the eruption of the illuminating void occur. The void is not easy to explain. It is not definable or describable. Any concept that we might utter about it could fail on the principal point. The void cannot be described or expressed in words. This is due to the human language having been created mainly to designate existing objects, thoughts, and feelings. It is not adequate for expressing, in a clear and specific way, non-existing objects, phenomena, and feelings. To try to discuss the void within the limits of a language limited by the forms of existence is really beyond doubt foolish and absolutely incorrect. The void is the no-existence, and existence is not the void. The form does not differ from the void, and the void does not differ from the form. The form is the void, and the void is the form. It is due to the void that things exist. The void and existence complement each other and do not oppose each other. The void and existence merge and embrace each other. When beings of normal sensitivity see an object, they see only the existent aspect. They do not see the void aspect. Every enlightened being can simultaneously see the existent and void aspect of anything. The void is simply a term that denotes the non-substantial and the non-personal nature of all beings, and is a sing indicating the state of total detachment and freedom. Lao Tzu, Tao Te King. School, college, and university teachers should make an in-depth study of our revolutionary psychology, and then teach their students the path that lead to the experience of reality. It is only possible to arrive at the experience of reality when all thought has stopped. The eruption of the void allows us to experience the bright light of pure reality. That knowledge, present in reality of the void, without characteristics or color, the void of nature is the true reality, universal kindness. Your intelligence, whose true nature is the void, which should not be seen as the void of nothing, but as your very intelligence without shackles, brilliant, universal, and happy, is the conscience, the universal wise Buddha. Your own void conscience and brilliant and joyful intelligence are inseparable. Its union is the Dharmakaya, the state of perfect illumination. Your own brilliant conscience, void and inseparable from the great body of splendor, does not have a birth or death, and is the immutable light, Amitabha Buddha. This knowledge is enough. To recognize the void of your own intelligence as the state of Buddha and consider it as your own conscience is to continue on the divine spirit of Buddha. Keep your intellect calm without being distracted during meditation. Forget that you are in meditation. Do not think that you are meditation, because when one thinks that he is meditating, this thought is enough to disturb the meditation. Your mind should become empty in order to experience what is real.